Ladies and gents, it's happened. Hell has officially frozen over because the angry Bootneck is in agreement with Greenpeace. Important. Russia has sentenced 16 peaceful climate activists to a whopping 41 years. Oh wait, did we say Russia? We meant the UK. Amazing. I love that. Welcome to Airstrip 1. Kids, it's finally sank in, has it? The good thing about this is, those of you that watch this channel, well, those of you that pay attention, are keenly aware that we are living in Airstrip 1. It is an authoritarian hell state in the UK, and Starmer and his cronies have no interest in doing anything by the book. They're obsessed with power and the wielding of it, and if they need to brazenly contradict themselves endlessly, I mean, the hypocrisy is off the scale, we all know that, but they're gonna do it. So pull up a chair in the gulag, lads, because we're all gonna end up breaking rocks for Comrade Starmlin. I'm loving it. We've already accepted the fact that we are scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel, and the bloke running the UK is a maniac. But it's going to be a short, sharp shock for many of this lot, isn't it? The same people that voted for it. And it doesn't just stop there. No, now he's safe, that he's got 4 or 5 years, well, probably forever. They just won't let us vote again, will they? Probably forever. Now he's safe, that he has his iron fist on the throat of the populace. Starmlin doesn't need to do anything that he promised. And those of us that wisely recognised it was a race to the bottom, so we just lubed up and prepared for the worst. Okay, we knew what was coming. We can just sit back and laugh at the naivety and stupidity of the group of people that voted him in and spent the last 6 months singing his praises, despite the fact reality itself paints him as a tin pot dictator, nasal, weird, closeted android. Because all the usual suspects are crying about him today. Ash Sarkar. The first rule of Starmerism is nothing means anything. Loving that. Seeing Starmer drive people like Ash Sarkar wild. It's the high point of my year. I never dreamed that a charmless tyrant like Keir Starmer would give me an erection. But he's managed it. And from Chris Packham, everyone loves to laugh at Chris Packham. So Rachel Reeves says, I've always been clear that a third runway at Heathrow would, wait, what's this? From 2023. I think you'll find that's some brazen hypocrisy, Chris. I hope you enjoy the taste. Anyway, so if you haven't heard, there's going to be a Heathrow runway expansion, obviously, because that would involve the entire front bench doing the exact opposite of what they told the base for the last few years. This is up there with Nick Clegg promising to vanquish student fees forever, and then within 2 weeks of entering office, doubling them. I mean, this is up there. So sit back and relax. I'll walk you through what's going on at Heathrow, and then we're going to laugh at some of the best examples of left-wing shrieking that I can find on the internet today. So a good time will be had by all. Well, except Chris Packham, obviously. Right, so before we embark upon this tale of merriment, let's see what Rachel Reeves has to say about the Heathrow expansion today, shall we? This story's only 4 hours old. Heathrow's third runway can be built in 10 years, says Rachel Reeves. She said she wants to see spades in the ground in the current parliament, and planes need to start using the runway by 2035. She also said that Sad Sack Kant, the grossly incompetent mayor of London who is opposed to Heathrow's expansion, could not stop the new runway. Brilliant. So she's pulled her trousers down and she's snapping one off on Sadiq's face as well. All is forgiven, Rachel. Do you want to move in? Come on over, Rachel. There's always room for you round my house, Rachel. The extra runway at Heathrow was one of a number of infrastructure projects announced by the Chancellor on Wednesday as part of the government's plans to boost economic growth. We think we can get flights off within a decade, Reeves told the BBC. Dear, Rachel, if you picked up a spade and started digging yourself, you wouldn't be able to get flights off the ground within a decade. Because when it comes to running infrastructure projects, as usual, socialists are about as much use as Stephen Hawking's bicycle clips. And now that she's all in on the idea, let's see what she had to say when she wasn't in power a mere 18 months ago, shall we?
As a Yorkshire Member of Parliament, I'm incredibly proud of our beautiful countryside and our stunning coastline. But the truth is, the Conservatives have trashed our environment. most of all with the sewage that is being poured into our rivers, our lakes and our beaches. That's why a Labour government would get serious about cracking down on that sewage, with mandatory monitoring of water quality, automatic fines for companies who pollute, and holding water bosses to account. By doing these things, I know that we can improve the quality of our water and, as a result, support our coastal communities and local businesses who rely on that tourism. A strong economy depends on having a strong and well-protected natural environment, and the next Labour government will deliver both of those.
Yep. You know what's good for the environment? Bulldozing a national park, building a runway on it, and then getting 500 jets a year to land on it. But you know what? If it annoys Chris Packham, I'm all behind the idea. Not only do I want them to build a Heathrow runway expansion, I want Keir Starmer to drive the first JCB over a beaver's dam, right? Whilst wearing a crown fashioned entirely from the bones of a badger and sporting a fine cloak made entirely from the skins of red squirrels. That's what I want to see, because at this point, all you can do is laugh, and nothing cheers me up more than seeing the gnashing of the teeth by brain-dead soy boys who actually thought someone like Keir Starmer, a man who believes in nothing except his own power and self-interest, was actually on their side. Brilliant. And best of all, the cherry on top is this one from the Prime Minister himself. Congratulations to the climate campaigners. There is no more important challenge than the climate emergency. That's why I voted against Heathrow expansion. And he's sharing this jubilant Guardian headline. This was only in 2020. Although, Christ on a bike, have you seen the teeth on that woman? I think AOC's got competition in the 3rd annual Eating an Apple Through a Tennis Racket competition. Jesus, she could chew through a Chinese telephone book in about 3 seconds. So there we have it. Fantastic news. The entirety of the far left being driven wild by the authoritarian android himself. I'm loving my life today. I'm loving it. We knew we'd hit rock bottom 6 months ago, ladies and gents. We knew. We knew all we had left was our sense of humour because they've took everything from us. And these lackwits actually thought he was one of them. Power-mad, woke psychopaths like David Lamtron and Rachel from Accounts, the proven liar, the career liar, and Keir Starmer. You couldn't believe the man's radio, and these people were daft enough to sing his praises. Well, suck on it and get used to it. Get used to being unhappy, because this man's going to do the exact opposite of everything he's ever said. And I look forward to at least being able to brag about being right when you join me in the gulag. Owen Jones, Ash Sarkar, Greenpeace activists, and every other career leftist who is finally realising they've been hoodwinked by, without doubt, the worst, the most dishonest, and the most detestable Prime Minister in British history. Compared to Starmer, Neville Chamberlain is a visionary. I'd rather pull Neville Chamberlain off while my dad and granddad were forced to watch than briefly brush past Keir Starmer in the street. That's how much I detest him. And that's probably highly illegal. So I'll see you in the gulag sooner rather than later, because opinions are not allowed under Starmer's government. All right? If you disagree, please let me know in the comments. I'm sure there'll only be one, because it'll be Starmer's mum. But yeah, if you're not Starmer's mum and you do agree, you're allowed to comment as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.